Hello, and welcome to Environmental Communications. This is the second stage of your assignments. This is Scott Eustace. I'm going to share my screen and make a video of what we're talking about when we're talking about wetlands data, wetlands data databasing. So far, pick on Arsa a little bit. If you're doing the jobs assignment, you've been assigned 3 parishes to create public records requests for in order to find the companies that use the transitional worker program. So that involves looking at this public records request, which in this example is for Orleans Parish and is addressed to the Orleans Parish Sheriff's Office, and readdressing it to, say, Lafourche Parish and the Secretary and the Sheriff of Lafourche Parish Sheriff's Office. I will be sending these documents along with Jane Patton, so we just need you to make a copy of this. You can share it with the same people. And then control and find and replace this contact information. If you change the header date to a date in April, that will also help. But make sure that these new documents are shared with me at scott@healthygolf.org, and if you just click share it with the same people, that will help. This shouldn't take too long. The hardest part of this first bit is looking up the Louisiana Chiefs contact list. I have something from 2016. There's other ways you can get this information. But for example, for Lafourche Parish, you can find the different police departments. But we're looking for Lafourche in particular. Here it is, Lafourche Parish Sheriff's Office. We can include Sheriff Craig Weber in the CC, but it also helps to include someone like, I think the warden is more relevant than the sheriff. If the warden is actually listed here is pretty useful, because that's the person overseeing the labor program, Captain Cortrell Davis. And the other person that is good to contact is the executive assistant to the sheriff, Lieutenant Rebecca Hebert. So these 2 emails I would put in the public records request for Lafourche Parish. And you could do the same for your other parishes. I'm not going to go into the photographic exhibits this time. It should be pretty self-explanatory. If you just follow the links, you'll review a lot of photographs. Each link has 387 photographs. Go through each one. It takes about 30 minutes to an hour to go through each one. Go through it at your own pace and see if you can see the impact patterns for erosional impacts to wetlands versus, say, oil and gas. The wetland permits assignment is the 3rd assignment, and really the thing that I think will get us all to 20 hours. There are a lot of public records requests that we've already made to the Army Corps of Engineers. We've filled out something like this, sent it off, waited 6 months, and we've got a response. And the response came in, let's see, in terms of many, PDFs. So the first link to the shared folder which I should just click from right now I'm using Arcela's spreadsheet, but I'll include these links to everyone's spreadsheets in the near future. This organizes the responses by company. So for example, Chevron Part 1 has all these different permits listed by name. What we're looking for, Arcela, if you could start at row 130 and 141005 West BI in Chevron Part 1. We're going to, when you find it, click on it and record different pieces of information from something that was previously in the past. Everything was written by hand. There was an attempt in the 1980s to record it more systematically. That's why you have it written out in longhand. And these sheets, there's some common pieces of information for each of these. And so for example, if I choose Barataria Bay 71, I could search for PY71 and begin to record some of the information that's here. They usually have a parish code, an activity code, what section of the law that this permit was issued under. Was it section 10 or section 404? There's the date issued, which you'll see here is in the beginning. So that's 10/29/1957. It's written as 57/10/29 on this sheet. If there are other dates listed, you can put them in Q and R. The activity is 01. We want a reference name or description. This is probably, it'll be below. So as we go through, and I'll try to reshare so that both documents are, yes. And this is how this is optimally done. I'm trying to share both. I hope you can see both just by sharing my screen. You can get the name of the permit, as well as some other dates here in this first screen. It's dredging a channel to install a well. So it's a dredge and spoil. So we can put dredging a channel, spoil, to install a drilling barge, as it says on the middle of this page. There are usually a couple of different pieces of location information. Like this. This is referring to the Saturday 1955 station. So we can put that US station here, USGS station here, 1955, and the first location notes are north 65 4,885 feet from USGS, Saturday, 1955. And then there's usually a second set of location information. So it says approximately 17.7 miles west from Empire. So using those two bits of information, we can find what, in 1957 they didn't use latitude and longitude so much. They used these different coordinate systems. But between those two, we'll be able to find it. We also have a space if they talk about something called section and range. It's in AH. And if they do include longitude and latitude, we have two different formats. One in degree, minute, seconds, and one in decimal degrees. So in this case, if they don't have decimal degrees for this permit, we can just say NA. The map will also sometimes have some interesting information, but you can see on the map they locate the Saturday 1955 USGS station and the 4,885 feet from. So they often have other location information on this map that you may be able to discern. Here's that information repeated again, and at the top we've got the LMN KD 800.6 Barataria Bay 71. And that's the number that goes here. LMN KD 800.6 Barataria Bay 71. If there's additional information on when the project was initiated and completed, that might also be in some of this further correspondence. It was requested on October 10th, 1957. There's a public notice. This is the notification list. Which is pretty extensive how many people were to be notified. Plaquemines Parish, approved. Here's an inspection in December. So by December, this canal had been dredged according to plan, according to the inspection. So we'll have some other dates from this correspondence. Throughout here. But that date that it's permitted, date issued, that's the key date. You might have some correspondence from the company that have these other two things, commence and date completed. But that is a key date. This is in the parish of Plaquemines. We don't have a parish code, but we'll just type it in, and it's mentioned as section 10, but not 404, because this paragraph here lists section 10 as the authority for initiating this permit. So we should have most of the fields filled out. You can ignore these first four over here and just start where it says 10. If you have any notes like, this is missing the permit document, or any other notes, like sometimes, work begun before permit issued. Sometimes you can see that. Anything special about the permit can go in the notes column. So that's the brief on this third assignment. Look for further office hours if you have any questions. I'll be following up with you over email and text and during office hours. So we've got very many of these, so I'm sure this will take us a while, and we can get to 20 hours by databasing these wetland permits. All right, thank you so much.